Oh, hello there. See that shit? Anyway, what's going on? Nothing going on comic books this morning. I'm looking in the news. But anyway, I'm getting some supplies today. I have a little bit of extra money in my pocket now, and I'm gonna go get some paper and some pens and stuff like that. I've been doing my best Todd McFarlane now. You can see I'm cutting in the details. I use these whiteout pens. People say they don't work good enough. They obviously they do. I'm using them right now, and you can see I beat up this leg pretty bad. I'm letting this dry, but you know that's one problem area I had was right here. Like it's coming together. You can see I cut in some details on the mask. His armor's beat up. I'm doing my best Todd McFarlane basically, but I'm doing my own kind of style of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm creating like a texture of homemade armor. He doesn't have perfect armor. Like this is my character. This is basically for my independent comic book, and I don't have any Sharpies. I don't have any Sharpies yet, so I can't. And Sharpies are cheap, so. But I can't fill in, the rest of the wall all down in here. You can see what I'm doing, is not only does this armor go from light to dark, and the wall goes, all the detail on the walls going from light to dark, but overall the transition of what I'm doing goes from light to dark. The sky's going to be open, so it's going to be all white. The sky's going to be white with just a thin outline of a moon with maybe a little bit of texture, or however I decide to do the moon. I'll have to do some research. And then everything's kind of silhouetted. There'll be vines with leaves coming up on either side of him here. And then you'll see the walls. And I might put some broken glass, like a broken window down here. But you see what I'm doing? Everything's going from light to dark on the page here. That's all. It's not that hard. I mean, it's not easy. I've made the decision to cut out. I had the wrench continued down, but I'm just going to leave it. It's a wrench and a star. Instead of a full circle with a star, it's like the head of a wrench, basically, with a star of because his name is Nutjob, because he was an engineer. He was an engineer. He was like he wasn't so much white collar. He was like a machinist, but he had engineering skills. He just didn't have the money to go get an engineering degree and all of that, and had a family and all this stuff. So he starts kind of fighting to make more money in the unions, and then he gets betrayed by a bunch of people. He starts to win, and he becomes a serious threat, and he the evil people that are running his town frame him and set him up. It's a really good storyline. It's very deeply written. I mean, I don't mean they just framed him and set him up. I mean, they have him. They basically ruin his reputation. He goes to prison. He loses both of his kids. One of his kids dies in foster care. I'm not going to reveal that. When some of the stuff that I'm going to show, when it gets down to the actual pages of this comic, it is going to be outrageous. He's basically a Christian, and but anyway, yeah, I'm getting some supplies today, and I'm really gonna redo these pages behind me here with, I'm going to cut there, I'm basically going to do them now that I'm much better now. This was all drawn three years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I don't know. I'd have to go on DeviantArt and find out when I uploaded most of it. But Now it's going to be done now that I've done more research and practice more, and now that I have the base skeleton for the comic done, I can arrange all these panels however I want. And I'm going to make some of these panels smaller, and then down here in the corner, I'm going to enlarge him. He's beating up a corrupt police officer right here, and that's going to be big. I'm going to have. I've already started the. Oops, knocked over my speaker. Of course, I got wires everywhere. But I've already. Here's him. I'm like working out this super punch, basically, from this panel right here, where he. This is where he basically. This is the moment. This is where he starts a war, basically, when he hits this satanic police officer, and then continue. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, right here you see him in court. I'll give you a good view of this page. This comic's going to be a little. It's going to be better drawn actually, but it's still good. Good. It gets the point across. But let me see if I can see what the camera's seeing. There we go. So you see him in court, basically with his, and there's where he loses his kids, and then they drag him off. They drag him out of the courtroom, and he just gets so mad. And yeah, so there he is. So that's basically a satanic. He's one of the lower level satanic police. You know, Satanists infiltrated the police basically. And this guy isn't really actually like demonically possessed. He's just a piece of crap, and he like sells drugs to kids, and he like he like hunts down people for their he's like a good decent looking guy, so he like attracts women and stuff like that, and he's like he basically bird dogs people for their human trafficking rings and stuff like that, and he doesn't even know this yet. But the good guy doesn't even know all this stuff yet. He just thinks he's a corrupt police officer. But more and more as the storyline, as you get deeper into the storyline, you find out just how evil. And say it's a horror movie, as in like he basically wakes up to the fact that he's surrounded by monsters, and good and or in the government and like criminals. So, and he fights the satanic ring leaders that he's fighting have like a biker gang. I think I'm gonna call them the Fallen Angels, and or something like that, or the Fallen ones, or something like that. It's gonna be a satanic motorcycle gang that he fights, and it's gonna get bloody. Like you know, it's all he goes after him with all kinds of like he makes a giant motorcycle with like Gatling guns on it and stuff, and it gets like really crazy. He like shoots up their bars and goes in and just like cuts them all to pieces and shit like that. It's gonna be a really cool comic book. So I'm getting some supplies to work on today. This is page 1. If you haven't seen it yet, if you're a new viewer, this is my character Nutjob, and I think people are gonna really like this comic book. I mean, I'm really getting in there with the detail now. Look at that. When I showed it to you yesterday, I did it straight in Sharpie, and it's only on an 8.5. It's not even that whole image is as big as my hand. And I did it, and when I showed it to you the other day, I did the whole thing with just a big fat Sharpie. But now I'm cutting into the Sharpie with the white. As Todd McFarlane always says, I'm doing my little scribblies, my little white scribblies. You can go back in, and you wrestle. It's a push and pull. It's push pull. I mean, down here, I mean, if you could see this leg, like I beat the shit out of this leg. This is how you do it, people. I beat the hell out of this leg. I push pull. This was almost all white. Go look at the other video. This was almost all white, and I couldn't, you know, I just kept wrestling with it, white, black, back and forth. But you know, it's getting in there now. It's almost there, people. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give away I'm gonna create a Indiegogo. I'm gonna get some, you know, I'm gonna get this comic book done. I'm gonna, you know, like 5 really good pages. I'm gonna start an Indiegogo at some point. Not, I have to have enough. I have to have enough supporters. So this is all up to you people, and I'm really grateful to have YouTube that I can get this comic book out, because when I was younger, there was no way to do this. You know what I mean? I had ideas when I was younger. I would have, you know, I think I would have practiced. I would have gone about this earlier if we'd had YouTube in the early 1991, 1992, 1993. If we would have had, you know, YouTube and the internet like we have it now, but I did not have that. So I'm so grateful to even be able, you know, to my subscribers. Thank you again, Marcel. I'm a part of a little network of artists. If you haven't heard of us, we're called Number I Am a Creator as well. And if you're an artist, you can basically, you know, if Marcel likes you, he'll endorse you. Basically, I think he started it. He's a painter. And I'm also trying to get my foot in the door of the comic book community by, you know, I'm subscribed to like Ethan Van Sciver, and I talk about him a lot. He's been an inspiration to me. I've dogged him a little bit. I've dogged you a little bit, Ethan, because I don't trust anybody anymore, Ethan. So when you and I'm also really, I mean, if you go look at my first couple of videos, man, like, I am not happy about what's happening to this country. And I know I get upset and I say some really bad words on this channel, and I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try to make it a little more family oriented. I'm just standing here drinking coffee. I have the day off of work here. Let me get, you guys can see my face, my beautiful, lovely, wonderful face. But I'm just, you know, Ethan, if you ever watch this video, I'm not, when I dog you a little bit in some of my videos, and I'm like, it's just, I'm just upset at the trajectory which this country has taken, which is like straight down in the comic industry, in the entertainment industry in general, and how I can barely watch TV without getting pissed off because of all the you know, like, oh, being gay is wonderful and men are stupid and can't do anything. I can't even watch television anymore, you know, like they've ruined Star Wars. But my point being is I don't trust anybody anymore. I just don't trust anybody anymore. So I feel like, not for all I know, Ethan is a shill or something. But I'm going to try not to think that way. I'm going to try not to think that way. I'm telling you. Anyway, the focus of this is Nut Job, and he has a shield on his back now. He's got a mace with a sword hidden in the scabbard. He's got big razor blade. Those aren't Batman ears. Those are razor blade ears. Everything about him is meant for destruction. You know what I mean? Like, when he comes into the room, there's just destruction. He's got spikes coming up off his elbows, spikes on his knuckles. I'm basically, I might put, you know, spikes on his knees or something, but I don't know. It looks pretty good for now. Yeah, he is a no BS vigilante. He's not like, he doesn't care. You know, if you're some like teenager having a beer in the woods or smoking a joint or something like that, he's not going to kill you. If he catches you selling drugs to minors, if he catches you, you know, if you're some sex offender, you know, there's like in the town I live, there's like tons of sex offenders, man. You know, or if you're like somebody just really like a total low life man, and you get on his wrong side, he could definitely kill you. That's, you know what I mean? He's basically, he's a lot like, he's almost like the serial killer in the movie Seven, but he's not a sick. He's not a. He's not. He's more. I don't know how to put it, man. He's just a really. He's trying to get rid of all the scumbags. You know what I mean? Like the real scumbags, like violent. If you're like a multiple repeat violent felon, you know what I mean? If you're a like aggravated felon, rapist, killer, even if you're a female, if you like, you know, if you're some like, you know, female who's pimping your daughter out on welfare or something like that, and a lot, and and you know what I'm saying? Like he'll he'll basically probably kick the crap out of her. He would kick the crap out of somebody like that. But yeah, his name is Nutjob, and he it's about his like blue pill to red pill journey, if you want to put it that way, and his awakening. And I can't do it without paper, so I have to go get a pad today. I got some money. I work a job, and I took the day off today, and I'm not going to get paid without pay, but I don't care, man. I need to take some personal time. So I got like, I don't know, I got some cash left over. This is after paying my bills. I got this is after paying my bills. I got and putting gas in my car and buying groceries and buying, you know, my dog, whatever my dog needs. I got 20, 40, 60, 70, 75. I got $76 left for the week. It's incredible. But so that's enough for me to go get Sharpies. I might need some more whiteout pens. I'm gonna need some mechanical pencils, and I'm just gonna go to Walmart, and then I might actually get some a big pad of Bristol board now, because I think I'm out of Bristol board. But anyway, and I don't want to do this. Believe it or this is basically I'm gonna basically enlarge this and then trace it onto a big piece of Bristol board, because I'm going to be giving away the original art, and I don't want to send, or not giving away, I'm going to be, if basically on my Indiegogo, there's going to be tiers. That's what I forgot to say, where some of the tiers you get an original page from the comic book. So I'm basically going to blow this up on my printer at work and then draw the correct scale on a big piece of Bristol board and re-ink the whole thing basically. And yeah, and that way, if when I when I do an Indiegogo, you pay like, you know, probably like $100 or something like that. We'll get you a signed first issue and a page of original artwork or something like that. And if you give like $1,000, I'll make you like a character. I'll make you a character in the comic book, basically. You know, for the first story, at least for the full first story arc. Or, you know, if you want to help me, or either you can be a character or help me create a character or something that you like, that we'll put them in the comic book. But anyway, something like that. I'm trying to come up with good incentives. And I'm also, you know, I'm going to be reading comments. All you got to do is comment, and I'm going to be reading comments, and I'm going to pick somebody out of the comments, and I'm going to send them the Cyber Frog drawing when it's done. Cyber Frog is by Ethan Van Sciver. I don't know if I have the drawing out right now. I don't feel like looking for it. But yeah, you can look in one of my last couple of videos. You'll see a Cyber Frog. Is this it? No, that's not it. Yeah, when I'm done with that, I'm going to give that away to somebody in the comments section. checking something out real quick here. So I'm really happy. I'm excited to be able to be doing this on YouTube. I'm really happy. I really am thankful for my subscribers, and I'm going to be, I'm going to try to get a relationship going with you guys where, we can, basically, I can try to give you comic books that you want, and basically, you guys can fund the comics that you want. Like, you fund it and I basically do it, and you're going to watch me go through the entire creative process for at least the first issue. I'm not going to reveal the entire issue, but you're going to see me work on the 5 pages, on the first 5 pages, some of it live, just so I can give, because I'd like to also help. Another part of my channel is to help young students of art, younger people than me that might not be as good as me, that want to, if I can show them or inspire them or help them in any way to do their own comic books, I would like to be able to do that too, because I really want the independent market, the real comic book market, the real comic book, I would have to say, if you want to call it market or industry, the real comic book industry is the independent comic industry. It's not Marvel. It's not DC. Those are people that are going for shock value. The artists there aren't really allowed to express themselves unless they express it the way that they're told to by their managers and the upper, the people that run Marvel and DC. And it has to be, quote, appropriate and politically correct. So that's not the comic book industry. That's just like a bunch of flashy, I would say, yeah, they're really good at anatomy. Jim Lee is really good at anatomy. You know what I mean? All this stuff, but that's not comic books, man. Look at some of the original Jack Kirby stuff before he even started doing Thor. I'm going to get some more coffee. This is important. So as I was saying, as of now, there's no comic book industry. I mean, barely. I mean, but it's starting. There's a glimmer of hope here. Ethan Van Sciver and Zach from Diversity and Comics are basically doing. They probably should have done this sooner, but either way, it's getting done. Better late than never. But my point is yeah, the real comic book industry is the independent comics. So we should be. Like I went up the lake today in my town. Here's a perfect example. I went up the lake today in my town. They have a public, like, outdoor glass or plexiglass and wood case now, and it says "Give a book, take a book." There's nothing stopping me from blowing off 300 or 400 copies of a little ash can comic book and putting them in there, and then what I mean. A bunch of kids up at the lake will get free comic books or whatever. I'm just saying, stuff like that. You should flood your town with your comic book. We should flood the independent market, with independent comic books, because that's the, what I mean. And what I'm trying to do is show you how to basically, basically working in black and white, help you get your anatomy down, get your storytelling down, and your page layouts. I'm pretty much really getting the hang of that now. And enough to tell a story, enough to tell a good story. And that's what people really want, is a good story. So, you know, something that will, you know, they're going to forget about everything for a few minutes and read this and enjoy this comic book. And that's the real comic book market. So that's another part of this channel, is to try to not only promote my channel, which is going to try to spread and you know, and inspire people to do independent comics, but to also promote other channels that are doing this, so we can go around this anathema that's become, you know, Marvel and DC Comics basically. And I still like some of their comic books, don't get me wrong. Like, I watch Comic Book University, and you know, if he reviews a comic that I like, I will go and buy it. I would go to my comic book store and give them some publicity in my hometown, but I'm in one of those towns where there is no comic book store anymore. They've all gone out of business, as far as I know. There might be. I'm gonna have to look around. I'll have to try to find what the word is on the street as far as getting comics. But as far as I know, people have to drive to Albany, New York, or go east to Springfield, Mass, or like Northampton or someplace like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go get some materials. I'm getting materials. I'm totally psyched. I'm getting paper, pens, pencils, and whiteout pens, and I'm gonna start piecing together the first 5 pages of my comic for submission to like independent comic. You know, I've got a lead. One of my friends has an aunt who owns a publishing company, and she's gonna put the word out for me to publishers and try to get my comic book published for me, or try to find somebody. She has like some people from China that are looking to buy comic book storylines. If I could sell it, if I could sell the storyline, you know, and work the contract out to where I get royalties, I might do that. But we'll see. We'll look into that. Anyway, yeah, so I got to go get some art supplies. Where's I'm trying to go find the event here. Here we go. Here we go. Cave Creature. Hey, it's you. Awesome. I'm going to be doing a MGTOW video, Cave Creature, pretty soon on my other channel. Yeah. So, hello. And how's it going, Cave Creature? Sorry about that. I was doing a little volume. I'm doing a little sound testing. I probably should have did that first, but he must have tuned out or something. Let me see. Been busy, I see. Excellent. Good work. Art imitates reality. Yes, it does. Yeah, I should reach out to Zach at Diversity in Comics, Cave Creature. I have been in his comments section, but I want to reach out to him when I have at least 5 pages done of kick-ass nut job. Just, you know what I'm saying, like super action art. Then I'll reach out to Zach. So I'm gonna get going now. I have to get comic book supplies here, or I'm gonna be spinning my wheels again. So, over and out.